Well, what's going on, guys? It's 5:44 in the afternoon. It's still the 24th of July, 2025. I got a handful here. Yeah, she's still surviving. She must be obeyed. And yes, on some occasions we still have to do the identification. So who am I? Well, let's see. It's either I'm the Weaver of John C. of Roseman, California. If I'm doing the Diary of the Griever, I would say me. Or if I feel otherwise, I'll just call you zombies because I'm deprived of sleep and everything else going on. So, hell with it. I would say I'm the Weaver of John C. in Roseman, California. Deal with that one. So that was a long minute montage, isn't it? Okay. What's going on, these guys? Well, too much crap. Too much insanity to drive you crazy. How about the woman who was helping out Epstein? Still in jail. Gets visited by the Trump administration trying to make out a deal with her. So if she makes out a pleasurable deal with him, she can get out. Possibly. She can get freed. But will she? Is her guilt going to be that of a point where she is going to be enduring 20 years in lockup after being sentenced? And will she be tired of it to the point where she's saying, I want to get out now? But she knows she admitted her guilt, and she's in lockup. There's other things happening out there for distractions. Trump administration wants to go after presidents. But then these idiots ever figured out that their actions in the Supreme Court well before the November elections had practically placed guarantees and protections on all presidents, past and future, and current. But unfortunately, the current POTUS, or the piece of shit in office, he wants protections all for himself, according to what I've been hearing from the independents. Because of the SCOTUS ruling of protections to a point, it's not applicable to Trump, even though he thought it was. So that's why he's doing everything. But if he goes after former presidents such as Obama, or even after Hillary Clinton, or how about even Bill Clinton for that matter, what happens if that happens? If that goes on? Well, they're going to be going through the court systems and they're going to be fighting that Supreme Court decision. You see, it wasn't specific. The case was saying Donald Trump versus the United States of America. And because of the SCOTUS ruled in favor in general, they hadn't done specific. Specific. If they were targeting Trump, they should have put it into record, but if they didn't, of saying that only Trump was immune. That means all the presidents, past and present and future, will be immune for certain actions. Didn't Trump ever think of this crap? No, he's not brilliant. Neither is his legal team. They celebrated, and they made sure they were going to be tyrants at this point. But they can't go back, from what I'm hearing from the legal guys out there, that if or when things have happened, and we still have living presidents, can they be prosecuted for their crimes against humanity? Clinton, I didn't see anything. He had his own little issues. Bush Jr., well, he was the starting of the damn wars that happened out in the Middle East. Well, Iraq and its situation, and in Afghanistan. Responding to being attacked on home soil. But I don't think we've done humanitarian issues, such as torturing their own citizens and locking them up and deporting them without trial, without due process, without the Constitution being involved. Just picked up, stuffed into a cage, stayed there for a time, and then kicked out again. Not to be heard from, theoretically. And that's what our administration's been doing. And we allowed it because we voted the shit in. We've given a generous budget to those people in that department who's doing it, who feel that they are not accountable to the Constitution of the United States or the rule of law or anything else for that matter. And they expect no pushback. And if there's pushback, they're going to bust people for obstruction of justice. But they can't arrest them because they don't have the power of attorney. Actually, they don't have the power of legal under their belt. They're not law enforcement officers. They're just basically bully boys. They're not processing under law. They're not throwing in legal precedents. They're getting people out of courts where the court cases are being dismissed, and they're tossed into mysterious buildings for a time and then transported out secretly without public fanfare or not. Just secreted on planes or buses or whatever, basically planes. One particular plane, Avelo, something like that, and they get their publicity and their reputation scarred because they're now a president transport. They are an immigration airline. They chose it. They were selected. They accepted it. Now they get to deal with the consequences of that selection. So anybody happens to deal with Trump makes a deal with this devil. They're going to be dealing with consequences down the road. He's also, the old trash bag, is going after people who are insulting him one way or another. He's going after comedians. He's going after cartoon content creators. Gee, does South Park ring a bell? How about that one? I understand their season premiere is coming out, or actually is come out, and the corporate media are laughing their asses off over it, and Trump's not laughing over it. Got insulted. How about worse than that? He goes over to the Fed Treasury and tries to be all, I'm the President of the United States, I say so, and I'm insulting you, and ha ha ha. Wait a second, what do you mean about this other building over here? Yeah, they completed about 5 years ago. What? No, this building we're spending right now as it is. We're not going to spend that. We already spent it 5 years ago getting the damn thing built. Oh, that's wrong. That's not what I hear. It's a new building. 5 years ago was new. So, his polls right now are what some of the... I'm keeping an eye on my dog right now. She's trying to keep away from a water dish. And she's right in front of almost about to ready to step into the damn thing. I'm just hoping she figures out she has to back up or turn around a little bit without knocking into the... I'm waiting. I've got an army of blue pads ready to go, and I'm just waiting for her to make her move. She can't figure it out how to get back. She has a hard time getting back. Joyce is being a caregiver. I gotta rest the back for that one. The joys of being a caregiver. We have already done so much damage to people. We have starved countries who depended upon U.S. aid for feeding and supplies for it. That we have become monsters to a lot of people. FCC, because Paramount and CBS had paid fealty are going to get their merger. Paramount's going to merge into a Skydancer. $8 billion. How about that? But in the process, South Park is going to really live it up and let them have it. I hope so. FEMA and its lack of direction and having a director or an oversight has allowed more deaths accounted for than it should have been. I'm not saying in the course of human history. No, I'm just saying that if FEMA was let alone and with a director who knew what the hell they were doing, it would have been saving lives at this point over here. But unfortunately, that's not happening. So I'm wondering how our own society and how our own lives are going to be valued and judged. If any and all these videos that we're pumping out there in social media, I'm wondering how about 100 or 200 years are going to be looking at our particular time period, either with fondness, sadness, or pulling out their hair if they actually have any left. Because I know that we're screwing ourselves over one way or another. We're allowing the chaos and confusion to happen in our country. Was it going to be a good thing, bad thing? I don't know, because right now I can't see the future at this point. We can only project and guess about what's happening these days. But we're getting our asses kicked on this one already. There we are. That being said, guys,